What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Getting to Know the Artist. We double trouble in tonight, baby. We had Cryptic Carmen. Now we got Brandon up here. We're gonna get to know this man and his band. How you doing tonight, man?
Hey man, I'm perfect, man. Thank you, man. How you doing?
Yes, I'm hanging in there. Been working thirds. It's been killing me. I was on seconds for the longest time, so adjusting's kind of weird. It's got me having to schedule these at different hours and just kind of get back on a new track with it. But it's
Oh,
been great.
what do you what do you
Bizarre!
What's up, homie? Hey man, my government name's on here. That's funny.
I see that. You should have put your there
I
should have been
should
an option where you typed in your name. You should have put your name.
yeah. Yeah, that I must have missed that. That would have been a good idea to do. But that's cool.
I don't know
That's
if you might be able to back out and then come back in and change it if you don't want people really knowing it, but it's definitely there. That's
nah.
for sure. But why don't you
Yeah.
tell them? For starts, what is you? We'll do it this way then, since your name's already there. What is your band name, and where was you born and raised, and where do you currently live now?
Oh yeah, word. All right, yeah. I go by Nuisance.one. That's like Nuisance period ONE Nuisance.one. Uh that I used to be a graffiti writer, man. So that's my graffiti name. That's my stage name. That's my everyone just calls me Nuisance. I got it when I was at a young age. Just being a troublemaker, man. I got it from one of my best friends in the world to this day. His name's Tristan Robinson, but I was actually in juvie with him, and he called me that because I kept causing a bunch of trouble, stuff.
I feel
But
it.
word, I was a rascal, man. Still kind of am, but I play it off better. Um, I was born in the city of Fort Collins, Colorado. Shout out Fort Collins. It's a dope city. And then I kind of bounced around everywhere. I'm currently based out of Long Beach, California. I've been here for oh yeah, yo, shout out. That's cool. I can see the comments too. Yeah. Hey man, I'll show you. I got a bunch of dope shit, my dude. So I'll show you. I got a bunch of sign stuff. But yeah, I'm a horror fanatic, homie. And I work in the film industry too, so I got a bunch of cool insights and I wouldn't say props necessarily, but I got a bunch of cool masks and shit, son. I'll show you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you can give us a tour, I don't know what kind of device you're working on, but maybe a
Yeah.
little later in the stream, you can kind of
Yeah.
just, show us what you want to show us.
Yeah. I can show you, man.
Uh,
I'll show you
Actually, if
shit.
you wanted to, I mean, you could probably do that right now.
Yeah.
Before we move on into the questions, if you wanted to show off some of your stuff there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like,
Yeah, I'm just on an iPad, so
how about you start? You can show us absolutely everything that you want, but how about you start with? Do you have a favorite on the wall or something?
oh that I do. Yo, that's a good one. Yeah, actually, let me show you. Check these out too, man. These are all my records. I'm like an
Bro, I
avid.
like the vibe. Those are records.
Yeah, homie. And dude, I got signed ICP. I got I got
Stop it.
two horrorcore, my homie, two horrorcore shelves. So we're going in deep. And then yeah, let me show this over here. I kind of moved some stuff around, but
You're all right.
my favorite movie of all time is Phantasm. Can you see? Oh, there's like this hanging. So I got this Phantasm.
Yeah.
That movie was actually filmed in Long Beach by a Long Beach director named Don Coscarelli. So I met him. He signed it. I met the crew. Uh, Rocky, the girl who played the lady, Gloria, who played Rocky in the third one, is a friend of mine. I got some.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah, she's really dope. I have a lizard, a pet lizard, and she always wants to babysit my lizard. In around town. I got some signed Michael masks. I got these are kind behind a
Ooh.
computer. I got three signed Jason masks from I got Todd sorry, Kane Hodder. I got
No, you all
Susie
right.
Graham. I got signed Michael. Yo, I got this sign. I'm kind of holding this up, so I don't know if you can see it, but this Idle Hands, man, is one of my favorite movies. That's Devon Sawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
this is like the perfect man cave.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, for sure it is. And my turntables. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell yeah. He's
yeah,
got the setup there.
bro. I got a bum. Dude, I am a collector at heart, homie. Which like a lot of juggalos are, right? You know, like it's kind of a there's a juggalo collector like a diagram or whatever that fits, but
Yeah, digraphic or whatever. Just a thing
yeah.
with us. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, dude, that's sick as shit.
Um,
Um, all right, let me ask you another question here. Obviously you are, but the question goes as follows: Are you a juggalo? How long have you been down? And do you consider yourself a juggalo rapper? Because a lot of people don't want to be put in a box, and some people put a box around being called a juggalo rapper. So,
yeah.
do you have any thought on that? And how long have you been down with the clowns?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. So I remember the first time I ever heard ICP was a long time ago. I want to say it was Great Malenko was just coming out. I was on a road trip. I actually heard some people. I'm a hip hop dude. Like I grew up hip hop, like Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane, NWA is that's my shit, you know. And so like when I first heard someone tell me, they're like, bro, because I'm a big horror guy, and so someone gave me good advice, and they're like, yo, you need to check out Insane Clown Posse. And at the time, I thought they were a heavy metal band, you know, by the name, and I was like, nah, I ain't interested or whatever. So I didn't listen to them. I ignored the advice, which was a bad idea. But I ended up going on a road trip later on. We went to New York. My friend was was adopted kid, and his family was like a therapeutic foster home, and they were like, we want to take a road trip to New York. They had a bunch of kids. They're like high risk, problematic kids, but they were my friends. So they were like, we could take me. I was like a little troublemaker too. So they're like, yeah, we'll take Brandon, you know, and we'll all go to New York. So we went on a road trip and we stopped in this place called Laverne, Minnesota. And one of his cousins was like, yo, have you heard ICP? So this is like 98 probably, you know, and or 97, 98. And I was like, nah, I ain't heard him, you know. And she's like, dude, you got to check him out. And so she gave me a tape cassette. It was Beverly Kills 50187. I put it in the Walkman. I was like immediately addicted. It was like everything, you know, because it's the hip hop horror fusion and the creativity was like, oh, this is nuts. And I remember what was real dope is we went to this park and we go to the park and like mad fools were like painted up, you know, like with the clown paint. But I ain't never seen nothing like that at that time. And I was like, damn, this is crazy. Like they even have like this following that you know that dresses up and shit. Like this is dope. So I was pretty much hooked. And then Malenko came out. Like I don't know if Malenko was already out, but I got introduced to Malenko somehow, and I was like, this is amazing. And I was in, you know, I was in. It took over. Do I consider
It,
myself a Juggalo rapper though? Here's the thing that I do like to say is like it's tricky because I'm a rapper and I'm a juggalo, you know, so that's tricky. But I don't on purpose and by design. I don't say like whoop whoop in my songs, and I do.
absolutely.
Yeah, word. I do it out of respect, you know. Like I hope that people see that because to me it's like they created that, you know, and I don't want to be biting off. I want people to like my music for my own individualities and my own original ingredients, you know. So I don't say like a lot of those like catch things that I hear a lot of juggler rappers do, and I ain't dissing nobody who
Terms
does it.
or phrases. No,
Yeah,
I absolutely agree, and it's a big discussion. That's why I try to make it part of my questions because some people say, you know, it's almost like try hard or almost like a I don't know. It's almost unappealing. If you're a juggalo, you don't need to say little things like that to be, you know, defined as a juggalo or interpreted. There's some artists that I've listened to though, and I wouldn't have even known they were juggalo affiliate or you know what I'm saying without them
yeah,
actually coming out and saying something. And don't get it twisted, as you said. Like there's some artists that do use, you know, juggalo terms, I guess, in some of their songs, and it's okay. I personally just don't think it needs to be like in every one of your songs, or you know what
Same.
I'm saying. If you throw a whoop whoop in there, dude, I start and end my streams. Almost everything I do, I say whoop whoop, but I'm a jug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a musician though,
All
so
right.
I'm not. It's different or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But there is a lot of talk on that very subject about Juggalo rapper versus I'm an artist, I'm a rapper, I'm a singer songwriter. I make music and whatever comes to me, or you
yeah,
know what I'm saying.
yeah,
So
yeah.
absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's well said. Yeah, for sure.
Um. All right. So then, what inspired you to start making music? What was that switch that was like, hey, I want to do this?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, shout out Shop Logic. Um, you know, man, I always was obsessed with hip hop. Oh yeah, shout out Brandon, yo, what's up? I was always, man, I always like when I was a kid, Tupac, I loved Tupac, and I would just rap Tupac in the kitchen. I didn't come from a house with a lot of money, you know, we were kind of poor. I was a single mother household, and so like I looked up to Tupac and stuff like that. So I always wanted to make music, but the second one I was like, I can do this is growing up. Kind of when I in my youth, I was in Tucson, Arizona. Tucson's like a very it's like a grimy city, but it's very hip hop related, you know. And we were all graffiti artists, and that's part of being in hip hop. And so part of that was getting drunk and freestyling in kitchens, and, and we would just freestyle. And like I was good at it, and people started noticing it. Like I mean, not even I'm not like I'm obviously gonna think I'm good, but people would tell me like, "Yo, dude, you're sick." So it gave me courage to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And I ended up moving to Colorado, and up in Colorado was a more professional level. Where I was hanging out in Tucson was kind of more goony, and people were just doing what they did in the streets or whatever.
All
But
right.
yeah, in Colorado it was like, yo, we have a venue, we have freestyle battles, and I met this group called Hoodlums and Havoc, which I don't know if anyone listening knows them, but they were pretty substantial in the early days, like early 2000s in the Juggalo scene in Colorado. They were dope, man, and they did a lot. They opened up for like Tech 9, before Tech 9 was the monster he is now. But and those guys really encouraged me to get into like freestyle battles. So I started doing freestyle battles, and then I got into a group. So it was like real organic, you know. It was something I was pursuing. I met the right people. They gave me guidance and help. You know, this is a long time ago. I've been in two groups since then, and now I'm doing everything solo. But and I just love it, you know. Like I learned how to DJ, I learned how to produce, I make all my own beats. It's just something I love the
A
art of
one
hip
man
hop.
team, huh?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
so
like
you said it kind of started out as just kind of fun, farting around, right? And then people like, nah, dude, you're actually pretty good. And when you moved, then you actually started to pursue it a little more
yeah,
seriously or whatever.
yeah, man,
Um,
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah. It's kind of like the path was kind of there, you know. Like it seemed right. Like I didn't feel like I was forcing anything. I was meeting the right people, and the right doors were opening, you know. So it was cool.
and how old are you?
I'm older, man. I'm 42. So
Okay. Well,
yeah,
I know when you were saying you were listening in '98, like I didn't get introduced to, which is Great Malenko. I think 2002 is roughly when it came out, and I was 13 then, so I'm 33 or whatever. I was just
okay,
trying to figure out the gap there or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you kind of mentioned just without me even asking this, which I like organic. But who do you look up to then in the music industry currently? And you can also touch in the past, so like underground and mainstream, if at all. Is there anybody that you still currently kind of inspire from, or
Oh
are
yeah.
you at the level now that like you are your own artist and you don't really necessarily inspire from anybody anymore. Touch down on that a little bit.
Yeah, man. You know, first I would just like to say, like, above everything, I'm a fan, you know? So like I'm inspired all the time by like everything. Like not everything, but I find inspiration in a lot of things, and I'm very excited. Like I'm always excited to hear something new. Like you saw these records, I buy records Like that's my fun. So like I listen to so much music, but it's like everything, bro. Like I could, yeah, Fago for the win. Word up. And I could listen to, I mean, like I was listening to Brenton Wood today. I was listening to Funkadelic today. So I find my inspirations from the past and from the future. Kendrick Lamar, I love what he's doing right now. I really like that Schoolboy Q album, you know, but I love like Ouija Mac, dude. You know what's dope? Yeah,
Yeah.
big shout out Ouija, dude. I would love to work with him. I'm manifesting that this year. I
Do
did a
it.
song with
Make it
Garvey, you
happen.
know, and
Yeah.
I love what they're doing. And DJ Chonk, you know, shout out DJ Chonk, man. Like I talk to him here and there. I'm not like, you know, mad close to him or anything, but yeah, fuck yeah. I love punk rock too.
DJ
Uh,
Chunk is I don't know. I don't want to say he's underrated as in people don't listen to him. I know people got to like fuck with him, but I feel like not enough people do. Like
mm,
he's
he
awesome, man.
he's sick. Hey, check this out. Let me just say this real quick about DJ Chunk, because this dude's cool as a motherfucker, and I got nothing but the utmost respect for him. I'm a DJ. I was trained by the Beat Junkies. They're like a famous LA DJ crew. DJ Babu, Mr. Chalk, J Rock, like they trained me, like, you know, physically in person.
No
Trained me.
kidding.
Yeah, man. Yeah, those are my mentors, you know, and that I learned a lot about beat production from them. And they've worked with everybody, bro. Like, you know, they've worked with Kanye West and I mean, you know, in the past and even Eminem. But I mean, that's not like their go-to people, of course, but Cypress Hill, they've worked with so many people. So I've learned so much knowledge from them. And DJ Chunk actually hit me up over that because he was like, yo, you kick it with the beat junkies and you're a juggalo, like that's dope. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. And yeah, so he was like really stoked about
Just to
that.
get big ups like that from him is cool. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know at what level you know perceive people, but for me that'd be extraordinary. When Ouija put me in his song and has given me some shout outs and stuff, like that's mind blowing. Like I don't even know
yeah.
where to begin on that. You know,
Yeah,
you as an artist, it might be a little different or whatever. You know, I'm not an artist. I'm just a jug
no.
that's also a podcaster. You know, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
So
no, that's dope. I heard that you talk about Ouija mentioned you. And I would say it's the same, you know, because I look up to these guys. DJ Chunk, what he does is so sick on a technical level. You could put him in an arena with any hip hop DJ. Here's another thing I just want to say real quick is like a lot of people in the more hip hop community will like they don't think what jugglers are doing is as hip hop. There's always like, you know, in every subgenre there's this or
right,
that.
right.
Dude, ICP and ICP's music has been using cuts and scratches and sick ass sample flips for since the beginning, dude. And like to see DJ Chunk come in and elevate it because he is top tier DJ in my opinion
Hell yeah.
is so dope. And he even told me, man, like he told me once, he said, you know, this is on an IG message or whatever. He's like, one of my main objectives is to really bring turntablism into the Juggalo community, you know. And I was like, that's fucking fresh as fuck. It's
Right,
always,
fuse it in there.
yeah, it's
I
dope.
mean,
Yeah,
there's always been DJs, but not as much.
always.
It's not like at the I don't know, like forefront as I feel it should or could be. Like, and that's just it. Some of these DJs, they can sit there and they can do all that mixing and you know ones and twos, and they also can even sing and like it's crazy.
It's
Very
crazy.
talented.
Yeah, it's
Um,
crazy. I love the DJ art, man. I love
Shout
that shit.
out DJ Chunk. Um,
Shout out, Chunk.
Next question is are there any current projects in the works? Are you working on any songs currently, or do you have any shows, tours, features, anything coming up here soon, or planned already for the new year? Ball rolling? What's new, man?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, you know that's a good question, man. I just dropped a song with a MC named Marv1 on the 3rd. So it just released. Marv1 is a MC, he's a battle MC out of Detroit. He's sick, man. He's super sick. He was in a group called the Fat Killers with King Gordy. So some people might know him, you know. But yeah, he's a Detroit native, just a beast. He was in the bonus scenes on the 8 Mile movie. He's still doing his
Okay.
thing. Yeah, he's just a sick ass dude. He's a really cool guy. Shout out to my homie Steven Wilson from MCTV. He hooked up that collab. So I just dropped that song. It's out everywhere. I would ask people to go check it out. I have a
Absolutely.
yeah, word. I have a music video following that up. I went out to Detroit. I shot a music video with him. That comes out the 16th. And then what I do on my own art, so that's kind of bottlenecks everything because I produce, I do my cuts, I record my own lyrics, I write my own lyrics, and then I do my own artwork. So like the artwork actually almost takes longer sometimes. But I'm hoping next month around this time, if people are familiar, he's kind of an up and coming MC out of Stockton, California, named Swift Homicide. And I hope that
Oh, Swift Homicide. I've been working on getting that man on here. In fact, I was in the talks with him like tonight, tomorrow, in between talking to you and one
oh
other person
okay,
or whatever. That
all
dude
right.
is pretty dope, and I only recently came across his name or whatever. And he's got that whole like modern day Brother Lynch or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
vibe. Like
yeah,
he's
totally. Yeah, he's killing it, man. Shout out Swift, and he's a dope dude. He's really cool, man. So we got that. We got a song I produced, and hopefully this time next month I drop it. I just got to do the artwork. The song's done, and then
So you
I,
don't outsource at all? Sorry to cut you off. You
no,
you
no,
do
no, sorry.
everything yourself? You're connected with like these movie people or whatever, right? And you still choose to just do your own. Is that
Yep.
like a personal pride thing or a saving money thing or like
Uh,
why
you.
are you just enjoy everything, I don't know. Why do you choose to do your own everything?
Yeah, no word. You know what, man? Like, I was in a group called Subject where all I did was rap. This is 10 years ago. Then I was in a group called uh Pink Elephants where I sat down with a bunch of producers and I helped, but mainly just rap. And then after Pink Elephants, I went to college, man, for animation because I was like, dude, I love movies and music. I was raised with my uncle showing me music all the time and my mom showing me movies all the time. So in my heart, it's like I love both of them equally. And so I was like, I was doing a bunch of music and then I was like, I want to go to college, and mind you, I don't come from a family with money, so it's like to go to college was like almost an impossible goal, and I wanted to prove to myself
Right.
I could do it, and I'd gotten into some trouble as an adult, and I was kind of going through like, I guess for my own like addictions and stuff, at this time, and this is a long time ago. I was just drinking heavily and just being a knucklehead, and I was like, I need to
We all
clean
have
this.
our demons, man.
Yeah, and I'm human, man, and so I went to college. I graduated for animation. I came out here. I got a job. I currently work on the Avatar films with James Cameron, like the Blue Aliens and some of the other.
No,
Yeah.
bro, what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You look for my name. My legal name's right here. Go look up Avatar 2 at the end. You'll see. You'll see my name, man.
Stop it!
Yeah.
It's crazy. Am I interviewing an artist or a movie director? What are we doing here?
I wish maybe one day I'll be a movie director, man. Maybe one day.
So you just help with the animation
Yeah.
process of the characters,
Yeah.
and you
Yep.
do that like via I don't know a computer type technology
Computer.
type
Yep.
shit. Okay,
Yeah.
because I couldn't
You.
do it. That's crazy.
Homie, you can do anything you put your mind to. I put a lot of effort into learning these things. But man, it's fun. It's like what I'm into. I heard just real quick. I don't want to segue too much what I was saying, but I heard you say that your girlfriend or wife was a digital artist. That's
Yes,
fresh.
yeah.
I would like to
Um,
see her art. That'd be cool.
yeah, on Facebook, I can even like throw her profile at you or whatever. She like I said, she does a lot of like I don't know. She's not a furry, but she does a lot of art for them, and she also does some. I guess not safe for work is the label NSFW, and
Oh,
but
okay.
she also does like other stuff. She drew a little chibi of Ouija Mac, uh, pouring blood on himself in a bathtub, and Ouija shared that shit. Like,
Oh, dope. That's
she
tight.
drew a cartoon version of, I don't know if you know who Carissa did it is. It's Sarah Russey's, Jay's girlfriend's
Uh-huh.
friend. Like, she's supposed to be
Okay.
at the gathering this year or whatever. I mean, she's new. It ain't like you should know her type beat, but
Yeah.
if you did know her, you would know. At
Yeah.
any rate, she drew her as like a little cartoon character, and she shared it on her profile and stuff. So
Sick.
that was kind of cool. Like, she's mad talented. I do little like art paintings and stuff like that, but I can't draw to save my life. Like, that's all her. So for sure.
Yeah, that's
Um,
tight. I like to hear that, man. The world, like, to me, the most interesting people on this planet are creatives, you know, and I'm just always intrigued by the creatives and what they're doing.
this is one of my latest projects. My
Oh
Moon
yeah,
Glorious
fresh,
mushroom.
dude. That's dope, bro.
So
Ah,
yeah, I do like painting stuff and whatnot, but yeah, I definitely ain't drawing or doing animation. But that's dope for real. Uh, how about what is one of your favorite songs, if you can pinpoint it? If not, give us a few of your favorite songs. Or you've been in the music game a little while, I'm assuming. Even a favorite album, man.
yeah, like a favorite album of mine or a favorite album of
Yeah, your song. Sorry, out of
Oh,
songs
okay.
that you have made, your favorite
Oh,
song and or favorite album.
oh yeah, that's good, man. Well, you know, I'm working right now on an album. It's gonna be called Full Moon Symphonies, and this is my favorite stuff I've ever done. It's like it's like very experimental. Like I have a country rap song. I have a which isn't like my go-to, but I have lived in Wyoming and shit, so I feel like there was a good song to wrap up that part of my life. I got like some just real trap metal. I'm doing a lot of like kind of dark trap, but just like weird goth kind of sounds. Like I really just like dark sounds, and I'm trying to experiment since I do my own production. I want to just push the envelope on that, and I'm really intrigued with what a lot of people are doing now with like the trap metal sound, and I'm pushing it, but I'm pushing it in like my own way, like of like this weird hip hop sense. So everything I'm doing now, man, it's like every song that I do now, even songs I probably have like 6 songs unreleased right now that I'm sitting on that I'm just I need to do the artwork for, but those are it's just every new song is like my favorite, bro. I will say this though. I have not even really told anybody this, but I'll mention on here, and who watches this can look forward to it. There's a rapper named RBX. He's from Long Beach. He was on Dr. Dre The Chronic. He was like the scary dude on Dr. Dre The Chronic and Snoop Doggy Dogg Doggy Style. He was on the Marshall Mathers LP, but he's like this dark, scary dude. He's a serial killer. And
Yeah.
yeah, I got a song. I got some songs coming with him, and I'm like just overly so excited about it, dude. They're just so dope. And then just
Now, do you typically just get features, or do you or have you went and actually worked with some of these artists that you collabed with in person?
so both you both. Usually how I do features because it's not. I don't like to go knock on people's doors or whatever that I don't know, and I don't really. I'm not looking for people that are hot by any means. It's like people that some of them are just crazy. Some of them, like that Lex collab, I was thinking about Lex, man. That whole conversation was really weird that I had with him, but I was like just thinking about him, like, man, I wonder like how could I get a collab with Lex or this is before he went to LSP, and I do have a relationship with Scum, but before that, I was like, I was just thinking, man, like how could this happen? And he hit me up on IG, and like it was just weird timing. Even like I was like, oh, word. So we talked out a deal that way, but I've never really. Everything has kind of been happening to me, and like knock on wood, because it is a blessing for me, and I'm not really the kind of guy that exerts myself into conversations that I don't feel like I belong in. So like
Right.
most my collabs have came pretty organically, dude. Like through conversations, through someone showing someone my music, through someone else talking about me, or just something strange like that. But I have done. collabs where I've been physically with them, but nowadays it is a lot easier to do collabs just with the technology to send
Yeah, yeah,
files.
absolutely. Nah, and speaking of Scum, have you done any songs with them?
Dude, I've never done a song with Scum, but I need to. It's stupid I haven't, and I plan to, yeah, because I'm dude. I opened up. I was one of the acts on the first Gore Fest ever.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. See,
when I
I'm a
was,
lame. I ain't never been to a gore fest.
it's dope. Oh, I lived in Denver though, so it's different. I
Yeah,
mean, I lived there. You know
right.
what I mean? I know. Yeah, I know Troll. Me and Troll got into a fight on stage once. We shut down yeah, dude. Yeah, and he's my good friend now. This is a long time ago, but and it wasn't even over me and him. It was over. We did a show with Dirtball, dude named Hoodwink, who was my homie, and Troll from Slow Pain. They kind of were setting it up. So there was this is in Fort Collins. There's Fort Collins artists and then Slow Pain artists. Something happened. I don't want to get into the details because it was some dude fucked up, which were none of the names mentioned. It was another act, and then it kind of came down to like me and Troll. Oh yeah, hey, what's up, man? I just saw your interview, Cryptic Chaos.
Yeah, he said he was watching that whole thing, so I
Yeah, that was
appreciate both of you yet again.
yeah, that was
And
dope.
I appreciate you coming through now and checking him out.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, thanks, man. And she was very insightful, man. That was a really good interview. I had a lot of fun watching that, man. It was dope.
Um, yeah, Scum is dope. I
Scum's
seen
dope.
him at the gathering, got his signature, but I didn't have my phone on me for whatever reason at that point, and I couldn't get a damn selfie. That happened to me also with fuck. Now I'm drawing a blank. They sing with Scum, or well, he sings with Scum. Uh, my God, why? I cannot for the life of me now. I'm drawing a blank. But
Sings or
it
raps?
happened. He raps.
Insane poetry?
He, yes, yes, absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I had to use the restroom, and I'm like, my phone was charging. It was in the morning, waking up, and my homie had a generator that everybody would charge into in the morning. And I'm like, well, I better at least take this notebook just in case I run into somebody going down to the shitter. And sure shit, boy, ran past a few artists that were just out and about strolling the gallery. And I'm like, fuck yeah, hey. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey man, can I tell a real quick story about insane
You
poetry?
you can tell me whatever you want to, man.
All right, word. Tight. So like I said earlier, I'm connected with the Beat Junkies. I do jujitsu and I do jujitsu with a DJ named Repmatic. Repmatic is a DJ. He's like world famous DJ here in LA. But what's crazy, man, is Insane Poetry used to live out here in LA. I want to say he lived in Cerritos. Someone might fact check that, but I know in that general vicinity, it's kind of by Long Beach. And so, but Insane Poetry used to be a K-Day mix master, which is like the DJs that created the hip hop scene in LA back in the day. This is probably in the 80s. I don't know how old Insane Poetry is. I don't know what role he played, but I do know he was a K-Day mixmaster and or he was involved in the K-Day DJs and he influenced Repmatic, who mentors me and is also I do jujitsu with. So I have like that connection also with
No
insane poetry. Yeah, yeah,
kidding.
it's pretty crazy.
Bro, you were
Yeah.
just destined for this. Or your life, the Shangri-La put you in the right places, man.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
beautiful.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, I would have to assume he's in his 50s, but he still
Yeah.
gets it.
Oh yeah,
Boy,
he's
he's
a
still
beast.
killing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's one of the best to ever do it, man. I got his vinyl too.
So you've been in doing music how long then, roughly?
I recorded my first song in 2004. That was the first song I ever did was a verse on Hoodlums and Havoc song called Subi Brains is about being hungover. That was in 2004 I recorded my first song.
So 20, 21 years, give or take.
Damn, it's a long time, bro. I mean, I took some breaks.
Now that you look at it that way, yeah, shit. I look back at like high school graduation and wonder where like 15 years went or something stupid, man.
It's crazy,
Crazy.
man. It is crazy,
But
man.
I asked that to ask this. So you ain't dead on us. You're still in your prime, moving around. But the question is, realistically, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Are you on a label? Do you want to be on a label? Are you independent? You stay independent? Do you want to retire from music? What's your 5 year plan at this point, if you have
Yeah.
one, or.
No, yeah, dude, that's a solid question. This is my thing is like I always kind of I've always wanted to be, a touring artist that if I could live off music and music alone, but see, I also do like digital sculpting and all these things that I could never give up. It's too close to me. I've done too much work to get to where I'm at with it in animation, but so a perfect scenario for me, man, and this is really what I want to manifest, and I really hope that I can get this to play into fruition is if I could be like a touring artist who makes money and somebody who does like freelance CGI artwork and stuff, that would be a perfect place for me to sit, man. If I could still have one foot in movies and one foot in music. And I know like that seems like a lot, but there's so many people that do so much. Like I look at people like Tyler the Creator or people. Yeah, I mean, there's like even Ice Cube, man. He's like directed and written full movies and put out albums.
Right. And then came back to music freaking 30 years later. And like, never limit yourself, bro. I
Right.
mean, I beat myself down sometimes, whatever, and I know I shouldn't, whatever, but I also know my limitations and where I am at my point. But if you already have that, that ability and mindset and capability, then yeah, definitely, I would say never stop, reaching for goals and don't limit yourself. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And at the end of the day, man, it's just what I do. It's what I do for fun, bro. Like I quit drinking. I don't really play. I like video games. I don't really play them a lot. It's like what I do is I sculpt, I make beats, I write lyrics. If none of it ever amounted to anything, I'd still do it. You know what I mean? Like if
Right, because you enjoy it.
I love it. Yeah, I love it's a challenge to me. I'll think of an idea, man. It's like a worm in my head, dude. And if I don't make it, it's just bugs me, drives me nuts. I have to create it, So
You said you play games, but not a whole lot. What game console?
I have Xbox. I have
There
the
you
new Xbox.
go.
The X. Oh, you do
Yeah, I
too?
don't want to hear no more. Don't tell me about Sony or your fifth other device.
I
Only
know.
Xbox.
That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've always been Microsoft. I mean, I think I had like the PlayStation 1 when it came out or
Yes.
whatever, and obviously Nintendo 64 and shit. No, I lied. I haven't owned a Sony device. I had the freaking PSP, PlayStation Portable, and that
Oh
was like
yeah,
the
me
slowest
too.
thing ever.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that thing. Yo,
But
the
it was like
Nintendo
the first mobile
64.
game.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Well,
I've
not
never
game.
remembered it. Have you noticed
Right. I was about to say GameCube was probably more the first, or not GameCube. Yeah, Game Boy. But I'm saying like modern
with
mobile, like
color and yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, Nintendo 64 was my shit too, man. That was
Dude,
that
that
was a
was
game.
right. That was like the dopest, man. To this day, bro, like I just had the most fun. Like I tried to revisit some of those games and they don't hold up quite as well, but man, like GoldenEye and like Mario,
Yes.
it
So
was
did you ever play Perfect Dark, the alternative to 007? It was
dude,
like the
no,
same
no.
thing but different. It was I feel like the like gameplay was a lot better in it. But yeah, I many hours on in fact on my Xbox there's I don't know if they still allow it, but on the gameplay, the app or whatever, you can download a version of 007 to play on your Xbox. And
Right, yeah, yeah, I did that, yeah. It's not as fresh as like you in your brain
right,
right now,
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So before we get too far, Cryptic Chaos, she asked, this may have been asked already, but what is your favorite bar or lyric you ever wrote, and what's the meaning behind it, if you
Man,
have?
that's a good question. I feel like off the top, you know what, man? I did like this like this freestyle acapella. It wasn't even for a song. It was like when I was in Pink Elephants, we would do this thing where like each one of us kind of I mean and a lot of hip hop acts do it. It wasn't like we originated. but we would like cut the beat and we'd like spit an acapella thing where we would like kind of showcase, yo, fucking Debbie in the house, whoop, whoop. And we would, just spit fast bars that were like meaningful and like thought provoking. And like I said, man, I used to get in a lot of trouble, man. And I think I was a graffiti artist. So I get popped for graffiti and just being out at night in the elements and shit. And so one time when I was coming out of jail and I didn't have anything, I just walked home. I didn't even know if my home was gonna be there because I hadn't got a hold of anybody. I was in there probably for like 3 months, I forget. But I was like walking and I came up with this rhyme, just kind of about life and like falling down and getting back up and the cliche things, but it was like I went more than that, you know what I mean? And I really was like looking at like what is the fabric that makes us human and stuff like that, and just like what are the ticks, dude? And I was trying to like really break them down and kind of like I think when things are broken down simplistically, but like not with force, but like you like somewhere in the back of your brain you were thinking these thoughts, you just didn't it never came out fully. If you're able to pick those out and say them, I think those are like some of the most impactful lyrics. And I was really focusing on stuff like that, like things that everybody goes through. It's not like certain necessarily related to my particular situation, though it's coming from like it's birthed out of my current situation.
It's an intrusive thought or like
Yeah,
impulse. Yeah.
yeah, and just like to really like sit and think about those kind of thoughts that like, man, it's kind of, I don't even know. There's probably like someone smarter than me probably has a word for them, but it's like when I hear someone say something and I'm like, damn, it's crazy that they think that too. Like the whole time I just thought I was weird and I was thinking it or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah. So I
No, I
wrote
get
like
it.
a whole, I
There's
wrote like
probably
a
a
whole,
theory or something on that whole thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great answer. Great question. I
It was a good
appreciate
question.
both.
Yeah, fuck it.
So I feel like I know the answer to this question. I feel like I'm getting to know you. You're a very interesting person. Like you're
Thanks, man.
involved in a lot of stuff, and you're very
Yeah,
humble too. But you're out
thanks.
for it. It's like you admit your wrongs, and and we all have a life. We all have demons past, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
You still like came. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Like you've overcame any, it sounds like, of the bad moments or whatever that you've crossed in your life as well. Like is it fair to say you've had, I hope, more positive than negative, or
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've had a great time too. I mean, like when I say things like "Man, I was in trouble" or whatever. I mean, I played a game that had consequences. I knew the consequences. I never once sat and was like, "Man, this is fucked up. It's their fault." I knew what I was doing when I did it,
right,
and I
took
knew,
accountability for your own actions?
yeah. And then like and to be and here's the thing is like I have friends that didn't wake up from some of the decisions that I've taken. Like I have lost a lot of friends along the way, but and it's tragic, but it is the if you invoke yourself, if you put yourself into that kind of lifestyle, e- everyone who's serious knows, it's not like a movie or a rap song. Like if you live that life, like there's consequences, and that's like
Right.
if you overdose, if you get shot. But it's like I say all that to say like, no, I don't. I enjoyed my time doing it. I'm glad that it's over with. I'm glad that I did it. I have no regrets about it. I didn't do
Abs-
anything where I crossed a line that I was like, that's morally fucked up. Most of my things, most of my shit's
right,
graffiti. I got no some fights with people that fought, but
right. I get
I'm
it.
glad it's over.
um
It's nice to chill.
Absolutely. And so this next question, that's what I was actually getting at, though. I feel like I know the answer from this, but we're gonna ask it anyhow. If not music, then what? What would you be doing? And I feel like the answer is you'd just be a movie director doing the animation stuff more.
Yeah.
But is there any other hobby or thing you think you would be doing? Do you, at this point, do you work a 9 to 5, or is music pretty much your income along with your animated thing that you do?
My payroll comes from my animation. I mean, outside of like, if I do a concert or I have my own merch that I sell. I make money off of, but like I not a livable wage. I mean, the vast majority of my income comes from my animating job. That's like my
Is
career.
that like a 9 to 5? Is what I'm getting at? Is that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
considered a 9 to 5 job? You clock in and you have to, do so
Mhm.
much. You have, or are you working for yourself doing that?
No, like currently, I mean, it depends, but right now, for a long time now, I've worked at Lightstorm Studios for like I think this is coming on to 7 years this new year. So it's been a long time. I am fortunate to work from home since COVID, but when I worked at the studio, it was really cool. So I mean, it was like a give or take. Like I kind of go nut. That's why if you see me posting a lot on social media, don't be thinking like this dude's weird. Just be like, this dude's bored, man. He's at home by
Yeah.
himself.
Right.
You
No,
know
I
what I mean?
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is my main
Okay.
source of income. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I find it fascinating that you have this separate passion aside from music that you're
Yeah.
equally passionate about. That's cool. It's obviously allowed you to meet some cool people and stuff like that. What did
Yeah.
you what did you want to be as a kid? Was it a singer? Was it a animation graphic person or whatever your title is? I'm sorry, I don't mean to take away from that. I don't know what you call
No,
your
no.
position. You might have said it earlier.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I'm just like you could just say visual effects artist or animator, but again, it's a kind of a niche thing, right? Like it's like I didn't even actually myself know a lot about it until I went to school for it. You know what I mean? I knew that like I'd see all the cool shit on the movie screen, and I'm like, dude, I want to do that. I didn't know how you did it, how it was done, and it's a not an easy thing to learn knowledge about it until you meet someone weird like me who's done it, or you've done, you go to college or whatever, do your research.
So
But
then, did you want to be like the typical? I want to be a firefighter or paleontologist, or what did you want to be as a kid? Can you remember?
yeah, a rapper. I always want.
He,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
that's cool.
yeah, yeah, man. I mean, and I just, I don't know if I stressed this earlier, but like, I would come home and my mom was big on reggae and like the Grateful Dead, and it would just be non-stop music. So I went to my first concert. My uncle took me to see Neil Young at Red Rocks when I was 7. I seen,
Oh yeah.
yeah, man. So I just. hmm I was just
That
no one in my family really. My brother is a musician, but he's younger than me. But my mom and my family, they weren't really like musicians, but they were just obsessed with music. So I grew up heavy with music. All
yeah,
sorts of music.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, so I asked a little bit about this in the back lobby, but these folks didn't get to hear it then. So I'm just gonna ask the question and you answer it however you want to. Um,
Cool.
have you played the Gathering of the Juggalos and or have you been to any of them?
Right. Oh yeah, we did that time. I no, I haven't, and man, I really want to. I haven't played or nor have I went. And I've always wanted to go. It's like a pipe dream. Yet for some reason in my head, it's almost like one of those things that doesn't seem realistic, but it's very realistic. People do it all the time. But when
Right.
I was, yeah, I don't know why I have. I've gone to Hella Wicked. I've gone to Detroit to see him. I've seen ICP in a couple states. Colorado, Arizona, California, probably Utah, Michigan, but I've never been to the Gathering, dude.
So
And I
has it
mean,
just not worked out because of like family? Are you a family man or something, or just
no,
things in life, or you just never just put like the real like I'm gonna take this week off? And I ain't hated. Look, I
no, no,
just got to gather for the first time after being down for 20 years because I was on my own from the age of 16
yeah, yeah,
on. I was homeless a few times during that period. Life just wasn't right for me for
yeah.
15 years or better. I
I
only in the
feel
last
that.
like
It's hard.
4 or 5 years found stability, real good stability in my life, and got to start really attending concerts. So I'm kind of a late bloomer. How you said you was 7 at your first concert? I was
hmm
9 when I went to my first one, and it was Def Leppard. But I don't feel I
Same.
was old enough to really appreciate it at its time. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
So
Sure. Dude, I think your answer is my answer, bro. Like, I think I've had a lot of instability in my life when I was younger. like I was in trouble, or I was like, something, some bullshit, like I was involved in the bullshit. So it was like I was involved in, like, I wasn't like planning trips, and I didn't grow up with a family who did vacations. So that it's like I wasn't until I was a grown up that I decided that I have taken my own flights. Even like I didn't even know how to use an airport. Like
Right.
so the last 2 years though, I have really put like an emphasis on like I got to go to the gathering, but then just like my work will pick up or something, and I'm like, fuck, man, I just can't pull it off. Or
So do you get like you've been at your job, you said about 7 years, right? Like, do
Mhm.
you get set vacation? Do you get only like a week a year, couple weeks now, or
Okay.
I just like 2025 is the year, boy. That's that year of legends. Like, that'd be the year to show up. Do you have music videos on YouTube? Like,
Yeah.
Rob loves music videos. If you got a music video and you get enough people in there, like sending your name in, like, we want this person at the gathering, boy, it could happen. If you got asked to come, would you make that arrangement to happen?
Yeah, get that's a guarantee, man. If they ask me, man, that'd be an honor, and I'd be there in a heartbeat. There's no way I could turn that down. I couldn't live with myself if I said no to not something.
Right, right. Um, yeah, it was an amazing time, and I'm planning to go this year too. Um, Last year I like I seen so much and missed so much, bro. Like, if that's even possible. Like, there's
I can
so much going on, and you're like over here, and one, and there's that homie, and here's this homie, and oh, who's that? And oh, it's fucking crazy. And like this year, I really want to like pump the brakes a little on Wiggles and just kind of like take
yeah.
it in and really like do some shit. But hell
I
yeah,
feel
it'd
that.
be cool to see a lot of you artists that I've interviewed, because now I've gotten to the point that I've interviewed more artists that I've never met in person than I have met in person. It'd be cool to see a lot of you guys there, because I feel like, I kind of built a little bit of a rapport and connection with y'all and whatnot. And especially you said you've been in the game this long, and you really doing the thing, and that'd be kind of cool. Do you animate your own videos? Do you make your own music videos, or?
So I'm working on it. So just because I do everything by myself, because just real quick, like an animation team is a team of people. I'll just do this real quick because I know this is gonna bore people, so this will be a fast part. But but you'd have to like sculpt the character. You have to re-topologize the character so he has a good topology to animate. You have to rig him, then you have to animate him, then you have to render him. But plus you have to build everything in the background. So it's a process. But that being said, I am every day working on it. So I'm building the stuff. I'm building the things. I have ideas. It is coming. And like I do, that's when I first stepped into me doing this solo. So I was in Subject, I was in Pink Elephants, and now I'm just doing Nuisance.one. I'm just doing my own shit. And I'm like I said, I'm doing everything. I'm producing all my own shit. And I said to myself, like, I wanted to do it like an art project, like Tool, or like the Gorillas, or because I can animate. So I want it to be like a full, like, everything. And that's what excites me the most about it. It's just I am one person, so it will take time, and that's what sucks because I get anxiety about it. Where I'm like, oh man, I got so much cool shit I want to show people, but it's gonna take a minute. But I'm currently working on it. So, but I do,
Absolutely.
yeah, I do have some music videos that are really dope though. I'll send you a link, man. I think you'll dig it.
Yeah, yeah. We'll share them in the description. Like I said, well, I don't know if I said this yet in live video, but at the end of this video or this live stream, I'm gonna get all of your links, man. Anything that I don't have already that you want to share, music platforms, social media platforms, and we're gonna put all that in the description of
Okay,
this
cool.
video. So when people find it, if they even just accidentally click on the description, it's right there under the intro. So they at
Sweet,
least can have a shot to see and click on it or whatever. So
dope.
yeah,
Fuck
for
yeah.
sure.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
Um,
that's it.
if you could collaborate with any artist that you probably haven't or whatever already, who would it be? And why or whatever, and that can be mainstream or underground. In fact, I'd like to hear, a mainstream and an underground artist that you would like to that you haven't collaborated with yet.
Yeah, perfect. That's dope because the first two people that come to my mind are, well, man. You okay? I'm gonna just say the first two that come to my mind without any thought because that's always a good answer. But I should probably think about the people I say. But I think like a no brainer for me, man, is like a Violent J collab would be fucking ridiculous, and like just his storytelling, dude, is off the chain, and just like though I I admire the weird vocal decisions he chooses to do, like just the weird like nah, 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 like I always think those are, you know what I mean? I'm always like, why? How did he think of that? And it would be dope to be in a studio to watch him. I've always been a fan for a long time. It'd be super sick. I would love to do that. Okay, I got two. I got two others that I really would like to say. I'm really digging on Schoolboy Q, and I know it's like a newer sound. It's kind of like he's in the mainstream, but I just think like he does weird shit too. And I'm like, man, this is kind of like scatting, like trap scatting. Like I just things that I don't
So
fully
I'm
understand. I'm intrigued by.
I'm not sure I know who he is, to be honest. So I have like reverted. I spent like 20 years gatekeeping my own music. If ICP didn't put them in front of me or they wasn't on the radio, then I didn't listen. Now I don't never listen to the radio like really at all. So I'm really
Right.
not sure I know who that is.
Yeah, he's big. He's a West Coast dude, man. He's from South Central. He's sick.
Okay, I might
He's
have to
dope.
peep him out.
Yeah, check him out, man. I mean, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But it's different, and that's the thing. I really like different. Like I like weird. I like people who take creative chances. My other
Yeah.
artist that I would say is Cool Keith, man. I'm a big Cool Keith fan. I love Cool Keith. I don't know if you know who that
Yeah.
is. Bro,
No. Is that underground or is that more mainstream artist?
he's kind of like he's been in the game so long that he rides the line, but he yeah, he put out a horrorcore
Somebody
album.
said he works with Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, that's Schoolboy Q works with Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, Schoolboy's with the Kendrick crew. Yeah,
Okay.
Cool Keith. Cool Keith is Doctor Octagon and Doctor Doom. I don't know if you're familiar with either of those names, but Doctor
Yeah.
Doom was like his horrorcore version. He's just weird, bro. But he was like from
Okay.
the Bronx back when hip hop first started in a group called Ultramagnetic MCs. And then he just continued a solo career, but he went really weird and abstract. And he's dope. I'm trying to think of art. He's worked with artists for sure that you listen to, but I'm just trying to think of that song, and I'm so
I
bad.
mean, I feel like I've heard the names of these people, but not
Yeah,
that I'm like jamming or knowing a lot
sure,
about them or so. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I know. No.
right. No, that's cool. That's fair. Yeah, I'll send you a link, man, and you can tell me if you like it or
Yeah.
not. Yeah, yeah. It's weird music.
I like learning. In fact, in one of my art streams, I had somebody recommend some like just instrumental music. This Angel Velati, like I'm all about. That's what I mean. Since I gatekeep my own music, I will give anybody a chance once. Now it's up to them or what I hear if then I continue to listen to them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah.
So
Hey, that's fresh.
yeah.
And I like that you say that because I feel like a lot of us do gatekeep our own music at one point in our lives where we're kind of closed minded and we're only seeing this. But it's so cool to open it up and be like, oh, yo, this is fresh and this is fresh too. I listen to all genres of music. It's just to me, it's like there's good music and there's music I don't dig on. But like I listen to anything, bro. Like I listen to funk, I listen to jazz, I listen to like obviously horrorcore.
Yeah, if it's got a
New metal.
good beat or I can relate to it or something, I'll listen to it pretty much. Like there's only two types of genres that I typically stay away from, and that's like gospel and opera. And it's just and don't get it twisted. Like if you've ever been to a Southern Baptist church, boy. or an African American church, they some of their music even choir style. It gets a little
Right.
passionate. It's all right, but
Yeah.
it's not my thing or whatever. But otherwise, bluegrass, reggae.
Oh yeah, bluegrass is.
I say that too. I like weird, as you were saying. I couldn't help but to at least chuckle inside. I like it weird, like that Viking music or like
Yeah.
Indian music or
Fuck yeah.
Asian metal or like
Yeah.
something that makes you like whoa, and then can kind of get you, like I'll fuck with it. Like that's
That's tight.
fresh.
Hey man, have you heard
But
of?
like 15 years ago, I would not have.
Mm,
But
mm.
yeah.
I've been there too, so I relate because I've been where I'm like, I can honestly say I've been there where if it wasn't ICP, then I would
Oh
be like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah.
I've been there. I've been there. Hey, real quick, this is on my head. Have you ever heard of a band called The Who? It's HU.
The Who ain't that like a 60s 70s band?
Yeah, not that Who
It's
though,
like
but
a
a different. It's a
oh
different Who. They're like Mongolian, like metal or something. It's like HU. I'm pretty sure I'm saying this right.
hmm.
I'll send you a
I,
link. Just
yeah,
because you said
do
that
it.
Viking, whatever you said something earlier that
Yeah.
reminded me of that, and I was
And
like,
not
oh,
even like the repetitive one that you hear everybody use with videos, like some real different type, like Viking vibe music, and it, like
fuck yeah,
yeah, I feel it. Something different
that's
is
sick.
pretty cool. That's like
That's sick.
somebody asked, was that your stream? No, I think that was her stream. Somebody had asked about like horrorcore reggae,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's two different music vibes that I love. I absolutely love, and I'm not religious or whatever, but I fuck with reggae, and
fuck yeah, me
I
too.
don't see how the two could actually. But if somebody could make a song somehow that also want to be disrespectful to one or the other, I think it'd be dope. But yeah, I get
Yeah.
down with some bluegrass and reggae.
Oh yeah, so bluegrass is dope. Billy Strings is fire, man. Tramp by Turtles, that's my shit. Yeah. Hey man, I got a homie. Shout out my homie Darren, man. He's in a group called Inside the Mind. They're a reggae group. They're actually based out of Colorado. But he made a reggae song, like a scary reggae song for me.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I need to bug him about it because he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna give this to you, bro." But if I get that, I'll make a fucking scary reggae song, bro.
Do it. Oh my god, I just want to hear the beat on it. What would it sound like? How do you mix the melody?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like you got to kind of do it light. Like you couldn't do like a extreme gore song. It'd have to just be like a spooky kind of, you know what I mean?
Kinda, yeah. Like I'm out here in the palm trees on Halloween, burning one. Booga. I don't know, bro, but I would if it was right, I would rock it. That'd be my shit.
Fuck yeah.
That's
Fuck yeah.
awesome. He would. Oh, we already read that. My fault. I was making sure I was caught up on the comments. Uh, All right, so you just mentioned earlier, but this is a recap because some of the people in here may not know what you said earlier. Um, Firstly, everybody in here, please smash that like button. Des and Justin, you're in the presence of a superstar. This man is amazing, and I'm glad I got him on my stream. He does music, he does movies, he be messing with the blue aliens avatar, crazy. And with that being said, so this question, typically I just have artists up here, and I try not to take away from it. And if you watch my other stream, then obviously you know what I'm getting at. The question is, have you ever met anyone famous to you? So obviously, like I've met ICP and Ouija Mac and some artists at the gathering. I try to use I met Polly Shore as my answer when I'm talking to another artist up
Yeah.
here, whatever. But you could just touch down on a few of those actresses or whoever, obviously. But who
Bro.
do you put there as like it was a wow factor of meeting or whatever?
Okay, I got some good ones. But I live in LA too. So
Right, you like Hollywood?
that's a kind of a cheat code, you know what I
Jesus,
mean?
yeah. If you want
No,
to
but
get
he's
famous, live famous, bro. Not over here in Hoosier land where I do.
yeah. Well, they just they all live out in LA. And I'll say the biggest. Okay, let me say this isn't the one that like wooed me as a human because I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm not a fan, but I'm not like a fan. Like, but the biggest person that I ever met, and this was at my studio, uh, was Oprah Winfrey came there once when I was working in the studio. Yeah, so that was crazy, and it was just in passing. Like, it wasn't like I didn't
Right,
ever
right.
see. But she had like her own secret service, and that was wild. So that was pretty crazy. I met Danny Trejo, which that's dope, dude. Because I come from that dirt, man. So like meeting Danny Trejo was sick. I met ICP, and that's fucking obviously fresh. Whoop, whoop.
Appreciate
I
the sub. Sorry, I
yeah
didn't mean
yeah
to interrupt. That's
no no
awesome. I
no.
appreciate seeing that. And then let me give a shout out real quick to Des and Justin. That's the homies old ladies channel, but his channel is IP2 Juggalos. He's a real dope homie. He be doing podcasts and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I met Sam Raimi, which was fresh. I met DJ Muggs is like my favorite producer. I met Be Real. That's like, man, he's probably my one of my top three favorite rappers. I met man, I have met a lot of people. Vin Diesel. He came to the
What
studio. Yeah,
is
he's actually
what's
short,
his
bro. Yeah,
yeah?
yeah.
What's his persona like though? Is he chill, humble, or is he a dick?
No, he was cool. Yeah, he's really cool. I met him. James Cameron was giving a walk around the studio, so he was like, "Oh, this is dope," and that was cool. Yeah, that was really cool. He was really nice. Yeah, he was really nice. You know,
So what, you work on some Fast and the Furious movies too or something? Why
no,
was
no,
Vin
no,
Diesel in your shit? The pacifier? Which movie was it? No.
no. He was just there saying hi. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he probably had a date with James Cameron. Not that I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But he was cool. He did say hi. Uh, man, I met a lot of dope people. Anderson Pack,
Right.
I met Anderson Pack, man. I'm really trying to think because just being in LA, you do meet a lot of people. Oh, not that I met, but I saw Marlon Wayans in front of me getting tacos in Hollywood once, and that was cool.
Dope.
Yeah.
All right. That's like too many for me to count. Like that's amazing. You mentioned one somebody was like your friend, still talks to you occasionally. What was her name? Which actress was that?
Oh, the one to watch my lizard.
Yeah.
Was that? Oh yeah, that's Gloria. Yeah, Gloria Lynn Henry. She was the actress in Phantasm 3. She played
Mm.
Rocky. I don't know if you've seen Phantasm 3. I'm a huge Phantasm guy. I
I'm
love
not sure I have. You said Rocky though, like Rocky the Balboa movies?
No, no, no. No, she's a female actress and Rocky was a character in the third movie.
Oh, okay. Well
But
then
she was
I
badass. She had
don't.
like numchucks and she like fucked shit up. She was like killing people for no reason. And she
Hell
was
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. Whoop,
Ooh,
whoop. Oh yeah.
interesting.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, Cheesy's the mod. She's the homie. Even though
Cool.
she's slacking, I haven't seen her a lot. She's just sneaking in here. Yeah. Um. All right. Well, that's dope. What's your favorite color, man?
Purple. Purple.
Ooh. All right. That's my mom's favorite color. I
Sick.
like red
That's my mom's favorite
particularly.
color, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Awesome. What's your favorite domesticated and wild type animal?
Oh, Tegu for sure. Man, I wish
Ooh.
I have a Tegu. A Tegu's like a lizard from Argentina. Do you know? Oh, you know?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I have two snakes. We want to
Okay.
get a blue tongue skink. I've seen a
Okay.
bunch of tegus or tegus. We've never went to own one or whatever, but yeah,
Oh, cool.
they're dope.
Yeah, she's dope. Her name's Krylon, and she's huge now. I love her to death.
Heck yeah. I actually have a reptile group on Facebook and a
Oh,
YouTube channel on reptiles, which I haven't put a whole lot on or whatever. But
what?
yeah,
Shit.
I really I dig reptiles for sure.
Yeah, that's
I hope
dope.
that didn't mess up the sound. No, my phone's trying to act like it wants to be low battery. We're good. We got like 20% and now it's charging. Uh, all right. Next question. Um, you touched down on this kind of, I think, briefly, but just maybe if you want to briefly again, elaborate a little. What type of music did your parents listen to, and do
Oh
you
yeah.
think that affected or like influenced, perhaps is the better word, how you make or do music or see music, whatever?
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. And I like that question. So my mom and my uncle, I was raised by my mother in a single family, like just single mom, me and my brother, my mom, and my uncle was there for like support. So my mom and my uncle are both like hippies, like old school hippies. They both like followed the dead. So I was raised on a lot of dead. A lot of Grateful Dead, a lot of Bob Marley, a lot of reggae, man. My mom would always play reggae, and I definitely think that influenced me. I mean, it was like to me, dude, in my age when I was born, hip hop was already a thing. It was already popular. It wasn't like as widely accepted as it is now, you know, but it was like
Right,
it's like a groove rhythm driven music form, and so is reggae. So I feel like there is definitely a marriage there that it was like it was easier for me to be attracted to hip hop because I grew up so heavily listening to my mom playing reggae records. And
right.
The Dead is just like so experimental and weird, man, that like it just probably it's part of my DNA, you know? Like I love the Dead, man. I still listen to them. They're like super happy music. It's like it's funny because if you no one knows who they are and you tell them like the Grateful Dead and like it's all skeletons and shit, but then it's like super happy. Like, hey,
Yeah, they're thinking like this is killer metal. Like, I mean, not that it ain't metal for sure, some stuff, but yeah, it's not the same kind of thing of Juggalos. Well, I don't know. We're kind
right.
of weird,
Yeah.
but the perception is misconstrued.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I think there's a lot of like similarities between like the Deadhead fan base and the Juggalo fan base because they're just like such a tight knit
So
family, you
I
know.
I would agree, but I'm telling you, I've posted in some of the hippie groups, being as I have dreads and I have that hippie like free spirit nature vibe to me, and I've had hashtags, Dreadlockjuggalo. That's my channel. That's my hashtag. I'll put it in my post and stuff, and I've got into conversations about, oh, a Juggalo hippie, that don't make no fucking sense. You can't listen to it. And I'm like, man, whatever. I'm not dealing with you. So, but
Yeah.
overall, I think the consensus is we're pretty similar, give or
Yeah.
take, So,
I think so.
yeah.
No, that's for
um,
sure.
I think, again, maybe you mentioned a little, but I'm just going to ask it and answer it how you will. Do you have any siblings and do they support your music career?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I heard you ask the lady was it Cryptic Karma?
Chaos.
Cryptic Chaos. Okay.
Carmen, but yeah, Chaos is her
Okay, yeah.
stage name.
Yeah, yeah. Let me ask her that. Yeah, my I do. I have a one brother. I have a younger brother. He's 3 years younger than me. He does support my music a lot. He himself is a musician. He doesn't like record like he's crazy. Like my brother is like a genius, but he okay. But he I don't know, man. He doesn't put himself out there. He doesn't I think he will maybe get to the point, and I hope that it is with me because he plays a bass guitar, he plays guitar, and he knows like music theory in and out, like so well, man. He's just such a smart dude, and for whatever reason, he has a bunch of songs, but he just doesn't release them and stuff. And I hope that I see a day where he does, and we both work on music together. He has his demons too, man. You know that he fights, and I hope that. he gets past that, and we get to a day where we can make music together and stuff. You know.
Does he have anything like officially out now, like on Spotify and or YouTube?
Nah, man, nothing out.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer because such a talent.
Well, I was gonna offer to, bring him up if he had the 3 songs or whatever at some point, maybe get him motivated. But if ever you do, he's welcome to come up here and have his own little interview and whatnot.
Yeah, thanks,
No,
man. That's good.
it's cool that you see the potential in him, even when maybe he don't really see it in himself right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
okay. If you met a younger version of yourself, say 12 years old, what would you tell yourself, if anything at all?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'd probably say don't take things so serious and don't take things to heart and just chill, man. I used to be very aggressive, but I think the thing is like I was bullied a lot. I came from like my dad was aggressive with me, and then I had cousins that were, and like then I lived in a fucked up neighborhood where people would like they I had to get into a lot of fights, to get respect
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
kid. And I think that like that stuck with me for longer than it should have. And there's other ways to go about things, but like I got caught in this mode as a younger person where like back in the day was different, and the dude who was badass and beat people up was cool, and it's not like that no more. And I'm thankful it's not, because you start thinking like I'm gonna live like this macho dude and be a badass dude, but it just never ends, and it's never satisfying, and it's never happy, and it's better to get along with people and have friends than it is to fight and have enemies. And I think I would just tell myself that. I don't think I wasted years because it all helped me become who I am, in whatever that means.
right.
But it would have been a lot easier if I've just been like, dude, just chill. Like, not everything needs to be so serious to
And
you.
in violence, don't be so
Yeah,
apprehensive. No, I get it,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Survival of the fittest and growing up then is different than now. And it's not to
yeah,
say that you shouldn't still, I guess, want to be capable of defending yourself if ever should need whatever. But the
yeah,
narrative ain't the same,
yeah,
thankfully, in all the negative shit that's going on right now in the world. And don't get it twisted. Obviously, you still have your gangs and shit, but the overall narrative ain't like, oh, you gotta be tough to be cool or
right.
whatever. You can be a nerd and be freaking cool, like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
So
man.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Um
it's a better living like that, dude. It is. Like having to look over your shoulder sucks, bro. It's
yeah.
no.
Um so then you grew up around music and talent and just, sounds like overall, I'm not saying it was all rainbows and, butterflies as you clearly said, but kind of positive or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think the skill came natural, or did you have to learn and practice? Some people are born with the given talent, they say, and other people, they want to do that same thing and they go through a lot of practice and training and then they're equally as good. Like, where do you kind of stand? Do you think it comes more natural or a little bit of both, or you still struggle today, or you do it in your sleep? It's nothing.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I think I think that like you should never feel comfortable in anything you go into. I think you should kind of have some self-doubt and be a little worried about how you're going to pull it off. Otherwise, you're probably not uh otherwise you're probably not challenging yourself. And if you're not challenging yourself, you're not growing. And I am forever a student. I watch tutorials daily. I love learning. My mom was a teacher, and I think that like for me, man, what I think makes is a great recipe is like talent, passion, and hard work, and that's probably cliche. I'm sure it's been said, but it's like there's some people that are just dope off the cusp, but their work ethic sucks, and then you don't feel the passion behind it. And then there's some people, man, like there's people, dude, who I've had hit me up, when I was in other groups and I was performing, and they're like, bro, check out my mixtape. And I'll always check out people's music. I love to check out people's music, even if it's underdeveloped. I like to hear it. I like to hear the rawness. I like to hear like the attempts. And I've met people just surpass people that people like that wouldn't give a chance to just grow and surpass. And it's like, and now they're sitting at a spot like it. Who cares where they were? Now they're great, you know. And I just think that
Right. How many times did they get rejected or something? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? By society or by their peers or
yeah,
whatever, and they still kept going, maybe.
yeah,
And I don't know. I'm not saying this is a big statement I've been seeing all over Facebook, and I'm sure you've seen the post too. And I think it's valid to a point, but I have my own little theory on it. But the whole like, not everybody's meant to be a rapper. Some
yeah,
people need to go cook or whatever, however they want to word it. And
yeah,
I think everybody is entitled to that opportunity to
yeah.
try at a chance.
Fuck yeah,
At that point, what do you sound like? And can you improve? Can you do better? Is it really for you? And then there is like a crossing point of coming to terms like, am I really, am I adequate? Am I doing this? Or then I don't know, maybe I shouldn't or whatever. And I'd hate to tell somebody to stop their dream if they're passionate about it. It's not like that, but like
yeah.
I mean,
Hey man, I see both sides, but but here's the thing that the two things that I want to say, because I that meme, I hate that people share that meme, because here's the thing, man, is like, you know, anybody could be anything if they work on it. And if you just work, you'll, to some degree, like maybe you won't be ICP or Tupac or, you know, Eminem or whatever, but maybe you could be a sound engineer. And if you're passionate about music and you're in it, and like you'll develop skills, you'll develop relationships, you'll become part of this world that is like the musical world. And you know, pretty soon you'll be like, oh damn, like I've made it to some extent. And I just think that discouraging people from being creative is just, it's whack, bro. And I wish that that people weren't so quick to do stuff like that. I feel like a lot of criticism happens on a creative level over another thing, like if we like a movie sucks or this album sucks, but as opposed to like things that like I don't like, I don't talk about. I don't like sit and keep posting about how something, this movie sucked. I just don't say nothing, you know what I mean? And I think that the discouragement of people trying to be creatives, and I, where I grew up, man, when I was young, I was in Wyoming when I was a young kid, and it was like, I would be told every day because I would draw on everything, you know, and they'd be like, oh, you're gonna be an artist, like you're gonna live poor. And I heard that so often that I'm a rebellious person, so to me, I was like, okay, well now I have to do this because I have to prove these people wrong. And
right.
you know, it's just like, had I listened to that advice, man, I would never have worked on Avatar. I would never have put out a song with RBX or with, you know, Conky
Mm,
Vampire, these people that I do look up to as humans and as artists. And I just wish that we didn't discourage people trying, because you know it's a scary thing to try, and there's no book, and you can't even, like, if you want to be an MC and you want to write lyrics, you can't watch a YouTube video, dude, and they're not going to teach you. It's something that comes from the heart, you know. And so you're gonna put out stuff that maybe some people don't understand, maybe, you know what I mean. It's like, it's a complex thing. And but
So then,
yeah,
what would you? Okay, I'll level with you, and I get it. And I wasn't saying that I'm necessarily hated. I'm first for one. I would never share those posts that people share. I'm
yeah,
always
okay,
trying
yeah.
to share out the artists that I'm putting, bringing
Oh
up,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
I
artists that
wouldn't
I
assume
follow.
you would,
But
yeah.
right, but what would you like? What would be some advice then? That and this ain't even in my questions here. But what would be some advice then that you would give to a new starting inspiring artist right now in this day and age in the market industry, whatever you want to call it, 2025? Like, is there any meat left on the bone for one to be trying to get in it? And like, I mean, the realistic. What would be some advice you'd give somebody trying to start right now then?
Yeah, that's, man, that's good. That I like that you asked me that, and I hope that I answered this well. And I think that, I think what's mostly important above everything is like, do so. Like I always look at life like, man, we're born into this life. You know, we're just animals, dude, and like all these rules and these regulations and this currency and all this shit. That's just made up shit that people thought of, right? and yet it controls our lives and we follow it. But it's like it was someone's idea that got passed on through these generations, and now it's become this law of the land. And I would just say, like, if you start anything, man, okay, you could start something, put your feet in it, dabble with it, and then if you're like, nah, this ain't for me, hey man, no harm, no foul. But if you're like, this is exactly what I want to do, I've always wanted to do it, I would say do it with everything you have, and just be passionate about it and be real with yourself, man. And like, it's cool to accept influences from other people. If you are inspired by whoever, Tom Hanks to be an actor, then yeah, you'll probably act kind of like Tom Hanks, but part off into your own, because we as people are our experiences, and I think that just to be real with yourself, man, and do it for the love of it, and not for the women or the men or the cars or the gold chains or whatever the little accessories that come with it.
Materialistic
Yeah,
aspect, or
right. Do it because that's your calling, and like, you were put here to do something. I really think everyone was put on this planet to have a purpose, and I think everyone knows what that is deep down inside. And if I would don't turn a blind eye to that, I guess, is what I think. And I think that you'll be all right in some degree, however it turns out, you know what I mean? But I would say, like, if you get caught up in the logistics of like, there's so many fucking MCs, there's so many people making movies, there's how am I ever gonna do this? And you never do it, you'll live with regret. And that's, to me, is worse than living with like, failed
a failed
attempts.
attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely, man. I think that's a beautiful answer. And
Hey, thank you.
Brandon said, "Yes, I want to hear this." Here's your answer, dude. He said, "You're the reason why I'm going for it. You said do it, and now I'm about to hit the studio in 14 days."
Hey,
All
fuck
right,
yeah.
man.
Fuck yeah. Hey man, you know what? Do Brandon hit I've never met him in real life, and he hit me up on a message on shout out to Brandon first off. And he hit me up, man. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. I won't say a lot, but he hit me up and he kind of asked me for advice, and I was like, fucking make the fucking song, homie. If you want to make a song, make the fucking song, bro. And I'm here to fucking listen to it when it's done, man, and I'm here to support it the whole process. And I think that's tight because
That's
he
awesome.
he like later that day was like, bro, I got a beat. He was like, what's the first step? I was like, well, you need a beat if you want to rap on something, bro. And he did
Right.
it. Fuck yeah, that's my dog, bro. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Shout out to you, Brandon. I'm ready to hear it too. uh, Okay, who or what inspired slash came up with your stage name slash logo? I really need to figure out a better way to word that. But you said you draw your own stuff, right? Do you have a set in stone logo that is identifiably you?
Yeah,
And
I do. Yeah,
how
yeah.
did you come up with it? And your name? You mentioned it earlier, but again, touch down on that.
Yeah, sure, dope. Yeah, I'll just say my logo first because that's easy. I drew my logo. I love werewolves. That's my whole shit. Like, I have like werewolf drops when I DJ. I have werewolf references in my music and my lyrics. I love werewolves, and that's like, to me, it was kind of like I always felt like I was two people. Like, I felt like I was like an animal, and at night I would just get crazy. When I was younger, I'd get crazy and I'd turn into an animal. And then I felt like, in my heart and soul, I was kind of just like a more reserved, introverted, like creative. But I grew up in a bad neighborhood and I had to be a fucking asshole sometimes. And so those were like my two persons living inside of me, is like the beast and the more calm, sheltered dude. So like I relate that to the werewolf or the wolf man. So my logo is a wolf man. I have stickers I could grab. I don't want to run out there now, but maybe later, and I could
Yeah,
show you the
right.
logo.
I'll gladly take a sticker or
Oh yeah,
whatever. I don't know
fuck
if
yeah,
you
fuck
you
yeah. I'll
send
send you
them
some.
or something. We'll get some address switches or
Okay,
whatever.
cool.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
dope. Yeah, I'll send you a care package, bro. And then my nickname, man, was given to me by a really good friend of mine who I'm still really good friends with. His name's Tristan Robinson, and we were in juvie together. Yeah, well, and I was just out of control in there, dude. And like, the name kind of originated from Noose because I would like choke people in fights and stuff. And so he was like, "Oh, you're the Noose," and then that turned into like, "Oh, you're just a nuisance," because I was always crazy, but I wasn't like the worst dude in the room. I was never in a gang or anything. So like I was just like a problem, but I wasn't like the evil dude. So it was
Right,
more of a,
right.
yeah, you know. And it just stuck with me, dude. And then when I moved to Tucson later on, man, I was a graffiti artist and I needed a name, so that's what I wrote. I wrote Noose or Nuisance, uh and even if I tried to shake it, I couldn't. Like people just call me it all the time. So most of my friends don't even know my real name. They're like, so not most, but some of them don't. You know what I mean? They're
Now
like,
they about to know, boy. That's on him. He could have changed that. You see, mine says Wiggles. It don't say my government, even though everybody
oh
knows
man,
it.
damn it! Just don't. Y'all just pretend like you don't see it. No, just fucking.
um, no, that's dope. I still can't believe you do your own. Like, so you do your own album covers. You do any art related to anything you're doing.
All
That's
of it.
awesome. Big
Thank you.
ups.
Thank you, man.
Uh,
Okay.
you're a movie guy. Tell us your favorite movie, and then we're gonna jump into the game questions.
Okay. Dope. Okay. All right. I'm gonna name. I'm gonna throw out a couple.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I know I'm gonna forget important ones, even though I have a ton hanging around me. But I would say I love A Clockwork Orange. I remember the first time I saw Clockwork Orange, I was like, "This is the weirdest fucking movie I've ever seen," and I like things that are weird and don't make sense to me right away. So, Clockwork Orange, uh, Phantasm. I love Phantasm, and shout out Don Cascarelli. That's a Long Beach movie. It's just such a weird fucking movie,
I might have to look it up. Now I
dude.
feel like I'm
Yeah.
surprised I don't know it.
I'm surprised you don't too. I mean, it was like a big horror. So it came out in like 1978, and in the early 80s, it was like one of the like major like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Phantasm. It didn't stay like those movies continued sequels and growing, and that one didn't.
Right.
So it's I guess it'd be easier. They used to play it on like TNT all the time when I was a kid. And so like my mom was going to college when I was younger and she'd be like, just watch TV or whatever. And so that was on all the time. So I was like, this is such a weird ass movie. And it is weird. It's a trippy ass movie.
Okay. Yeah.
And I would probably say,
Um.
just to wrap it, I have to say Nightmare
Yeah.
on Elm Street 3. And let's go with Idle Hands, man. And I love those movies a lot.
Boy. I just use my go-to as Blow with Johnny
Yeah.
Depp. I'm a big Johnny Depp fan, and
Fuck
I
yeah.
don't know, Adam Sandler. I guess I'd pick favorite actors, not necessarily movies. I mean, I guess, like I said, there's a few. Blow. That's just my go-to. Like that's what's set in my head. I watched it a lot as a kid,
Blow's
as an
dope, dude.
adult.
It's a
Fear and
good movie.
Loathing, which is also Johnny Depp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Um.
It's a great movie,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Dude, you are amazing for being on here this long already. We have been live for an hour and 31 minutes, and I have not been bored, not 1 second of it. You were very interesting. I was
Oh,
not
thank you.
expecting this interview. Like, to be honest, I don't even know how we met. And that's me being real. Like, I know somehow either I messaged you first, or you messaged me first, or somebody tagged us in a post together or something. And I'm grateful. This is amazing. This is what I like: organic encounters and meeting new people and learning about new music and new things. And you're even a bonus package with the whole movie thing and whatnot. That's crazy. It's been awesome.
Yeah. No, thank you,
Uh,
man. Me too. It's been a fun time, man. Oh, yeah. I've had a blast, man.
um, We got these game questions for anybody that may watch this on a replay and don't know. And for those of you that are actually still in here, thank you so very much. You guys matter. You are what makes these streams possible. Go subscribe to this man before I even get his links. But we're going to get his links and they're going to be in the description. We're about to start what I call my game questions, and they're just either or questions. This man's going to pick either or out of the options or neither. And we're going to move on down the line. And with that said, we are going to start with Twix or Reese's.
Ooh. Twix. Yeah.
All
Twix is good.
right. Summer or winter?
Summer. Yeah, definitely summer.
Not too many people say winter. Day or night?
Night. Yeah, I'm a night
Okay,
owl, man, for sure.
that's me. Truck or car?
Oh man, I got a good car, man. I have a lowrider. I have a
Cruising
1963
around
Juggalos.
LA in my 6'4".
I
Yeah,
have a
no.
63. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm just all about that truck. You can make money, and I'm sure even around there you probably could too. It's same
For sure.
concept.
For sure. I mean, I'm a DJ, bro, and having a truck would be nice, man. You know, like throwing all those the
Right of
shit.
your equipment. So what do you do? Does somebody else carry your equipment for you, or you just have it there on site already, or it all just jams in your car just perfect?
Dude, I jammed in my car. I don't know if perfect is the word I'd use, but
Yeah,
I make it
that's
work.
awesome. Uh, all right, you're taking your sweetheart out on a date. Are you going for a movie night or roller skating?
Oh. You know what, man? I wish I could say roller skating because realistically we'd probably go to a movie. But uh we need to go to a roller skating. I'm gonna tell her that. Like we need to
Make
go
it
together.
happen. This weirdo brought it up, and now we gotta do it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, bring it back,
Yeah.
man. Oh yeah, that'd be great.
That was like the '90s, baby. That was the
Yeah.
shit.
Dude, yeah.
Um. All right. Pizza or pasta?
Oh man, I have to do pizza. I would be lying to myself if I didn't say pizza. I love pizza. I pizza
Uh,
good. But I like
yeah.
pasta. I like pasta too though.
Um. Yeah, it's a hard one. That's why I like to put them up against each other. Uh. This one's for your fans. Which are you more active on, Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah, that's good. I like Instagram better as a platform. I because I have lived in so many states and some states where people aren't hip to Instagram. So in LA, nobody uses Facebook. Everyone uses Instagram. But I have homies in Colorado and Wyoming, and nobody there uses Instagram. They all use Facebook. So it's like if I go to Instagram, it's like pure promotion. Boom, 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 boom. Like if you look at my IG, it's just promo, 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 promo. On Facebook, I feel a little bit more looser where I'm like, this is my lizard. This is my pizza that I ate today. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I think it goes without saying, as at least an artist, and I don't know on your other aspect, like it does well to be on all platforms, even if you're not super active on all of
Mhm.
them or whatever. It's still, and maybe not. Like I know most artists usually stick to the main two or three or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah.
and also TikTok or X.
Oh, God, dude, I need to do better at both of those. I will say probably TikTok, but honestly, dude, with everything, yeah, that's funny. With everything, I've never really had much of an ex presence. I need to. Oh man, yeah, I need to, dude. I need to just do a better job at all my socials moving forward, but um,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, honestly, I wasn't much for X. I created my account 15 years ago and then like ghosted it and then
Yeah, me
started
too.
using it when I found Ouija. So like seven,
Oh,
8 years ago when Ouija came into the picture, like or at
okay.
least when I found him or whatever, he's really active over there and like he follows me on X and like
Oh,
he'll
fresh.
like
Okay.
your post and share and it's just that whole hype like your artist your favorite artist is sharing your stuff and obviously you as an artist people as an artist that's what I mean certain platforms I feel it's like a given even if you're not very active on them it does well to at least have a little bit of a presence or whatever and I understand like X can get a little wild be careful who you follow and whatnot over there but otherwise, just if you base it around your music and keep it, thorough
Yeah.
or whatever, you can, whatever. So yeah,
Yeah. That's good
um,
advice. Yeah, I need to get on there.
Pepsi or Coca Cola.
Oh shit. I probably like Coke is just better to me, I think. I like Mountain Dew though, you know what I mean? That's a
Yeah,
Pepsi person.
right.
Yeah.
I used to be a Mountain Dew fan, and I drank it for a lot of years, and then like it just started tasting like almost lemon lime to me, and like I
Mm.
don't know, I give it a break, and I usually can go back to it after a while. I just haven't. Like I'll still drink a Live Wire and like Code Red occasionally and whatnot, but just regular Mountain Dew is like I don't know, lemon lime tasting weird to me. I don't
Yeah,
know.
bro. Maybe they changed or you burnt yourself. I don't drink Mountain Dew anymore either, but I used to chug the fuck out of Mountain Dew, dude.
I'm
But
a big Dr. Pepper. If it ain't a Fago, which is also part of this question, if it has to be a Fago, what Fago?
oh yes, that's a good. That's the question that matters. And I would have to say, the fucking bomb pop, the firework one is fire. When I was in Hello Wicked, man, they had like this like orange sickle one that was,
Dreamsicle.
God, that was so
Hmm.
good, dude. That was
Yes.
bomb.
Um,
Probably those two.
I
Cotton candy, it's a classic, but yeah.
Right. Cotton candy used to be my all-time favorite, and then
Same.
firework came into the picture, and I love that.
Fireworks fire,
For a
dude.
treat, I like that candy apple and dreamsicle, but I wouldn't drink it all the time. That dreamsicle, I don't know if you've got to try it on vanilla ice cream. That's the spot right there.
That sounds bomb.
But yeah, that's definitely my go-to is firework.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh, all right, pie or cake?
Cake.
Yeah. Um, okay. You're forced to. You got to choose. You can't say no to either of these. You got to pick one of the least evils. You have to make a 3 mile walk in the rain, or you got to make a 5 mile walk in the desert, provided water and a couple shade spots. Which are you picking?
Dude, I'm taking the rain only because it's shorter. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Man, I've had people come up here. They said I ain't doing it. I ain't being all chafed and soaked and whatever. I take
Yeah.
the heat, but yeah. Otherwise, I feel you. I'm not worried about no rain. I would take 3 miles too.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, Mexican food or Chinese?
Mexican. Yeah, I'm Spanish. Yeah.
All right, tacos or burritos?
Burritos. Just because
Yeah,
it's more manageable, man. You know what I mean? And you can put
right.
more in it. And,
Absolutely.
in Colorado, they smother it in green chili, and that's fire, dude. So good.
Yeah. Um, Surfing or skateboarding?
Oh, that's good. I'm not good at either one of them. Uh, I've only been surfing once, man, and I've lived out here for a long time. But I'm gonna say surfing. Not that I'm better at it, but I want to get better at it. The idea of me surfing it seems cooler than me skateboard because I've skated. You know what I mean? And I'm not that great, but to surf would be
You got
sick.
to do your reggae music video surfing, really mess it up.
Fuck yeah. It could just
uh,
be a complete disaster or really entertaining to watch.
right.
Yeah.
Perfect chaos. Uh,
Sick.
all right. So that's it with the either or. The next question is you're given $5,000 cash, but you have to pick one store to spend it at, and you have to spend it immediately. Where are you going?
Oh, I feel like impulsively, I probably feel like I'm gonna say the same thing everyone says. Probably like if I'm being honest, my two answers, I guarantee they're not unique. People have said them. I'd probably be a record store because I'm addicted to buying records. But $5,000 in records that's a little irresponsible. So I might I might have to say like a guitar center, man. Like get just because 5 grand you could really dupe up your home studio. And that's probably what I would do.
It's funny. I just ask it vaguely. I expect y'all to say stuff like that, buy a mic or whatever. It's interesting though when I get artists up here that like hit me with a random like I had this artist Bridget Bites. She was one of my first female artists, and she came up and she said Walmart, and she would buy diapers and formula because
Hey, that's
then she
expensive.
could invest her own money on music or whatever. whatnot, because yeah, diapers and stuff like that is expensive. And I've had a couple of
Yeah.
other artists say Walmart simply because the same thing though. Like you could get like a basic mic or maybe little soundboard, or I don't know what Walmart really offers in the music industry part of it as an artist, but like you could get some stuff. People said I'm just gonna go buy a bunch of video games. Like I don't necessarily put no like, oh, you can only use it for this. So it's interesting to see what y'all say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Your money might go farther at Walmart. So I see like the logic. And if you have kids, man, that's probably a no-brainer, dude, because 5 grand on kids is not 5 grand on yourself is different. And I don't have kids. I don't have kids. So I'm speaking from like what I've seen in life. But 5 grand on your
right.
kids is not 5 grand for yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's a different world, man, because you gotta buy all the things that you
It's
know.
funny that she knows too. She's like, he's going to a record store.
I'm like, yeah, she knows.
That's awesome. All right, man. We got three fill in the blank questions for you, and I haven't even. I don't know if I asked this. If anybody in the chat has any questions for this man, I've just been enjoying talking to him. It's just been flowing. If you guys have any questions, because these are my last three I'm about to do, put some questions in the chat for this man, and I'll ask him as long as he is willing to stay with us. Because
Yeah,
we're already
let's
at a
go.
minute and an hour and 44. I told him only an hour. I'll go as long as whatever, but you know.
I'm here
So
for it. Yeah, I'd love to answer
yeah.
questions. Yeah, I'd
Uh,
love to.
um. Okay, so the first fill in the blank is my favorite vacation was blank.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't go on like a lot of family vacations as a kid, but this actually was it this. I guess it would have been last year. I took my mom on a cruise to Cabo, and that was dope, man. And I'm probably gonna go with that because just taking my mom to Mexico. We went to Ensenada, Cabo, and just the days on the boat. It was fresh, So I'll probably have to pick that. I did, however, once before moving to California, a long time ago now. We came out to California and I went skydiving, and that was fresh too. So those are probably my two favorite.
So I want to go skydiving, but I'm also afraid. I'd be afraid, man. Like you would literally
It's
have to
scary,
just
bro.
push my ass out of the plane, and then at that
Yeah.
point I'd be freaking out, not pull the belt thing at the right time. What if I have the flawed parachute? Or bro, I'd be I don't
Uh,
think I'll ever do it. But my homie just got his old lady bought him like a pass to go do it for his birthday or Christmas or something. And he's like, well, I ain't got a choice now. I'm like, have fun, fucker. Like, man, I can't imagine. But that's dope. I mean, you only live once.
hey, you know what, man? There's a video. It was kind of viral, but it was like Will Smith talking about it, and what he talked about is exactly what happened to me. Is like I was chilling with a bunch of homies. Ye- Yeah, yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I don't know about what she said, but I was but there's a video, and anyway, he's like, you and your homies are sitting around taking drinks one night, and one of your homies is like, let's go skydiving, and you're like, yeah, that'd be fresh. And then you go to sleep and you wake up, and he's serious and he drives you to the place. And the whole time the fear just starts building, dude. And then pretty soon you're in a fucking airplane and they open the door and you're like, oh my God. Like, oh my God, get the hell off me,
No,
dude. Yeah. That's
bro.
terrifying. Yeah.
So in my later years, as I get older, I feel like I'm starting to come down with like a type of anxiety. So that's another thing, bro. By that point, I would be like sweating balls almost, probably like passing out. Like no, I've seen you at the bottom a different way. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll get the balls to do it once or something. But that's awesome. That's
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So
It is
was it
scary though.
scary?
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. Yeah, fucking yeah. It was it was worth it. It was when you land, it's like all the you just did one of this here there's a saying, man, and it says the best things come after the wall of fear. And I believe that in everything. Like doing a concert is scary. DJing in front of a crowd is scary. Putting your artwork out into the world is scary to some degree. So it's like, but it's the reward after doing those things is always worth it.
Right.
Yeah, and that applies
So
to
did you
skydiving.
like jump by yourself, or did you have like somebody with you?
Yeah, yeah. So the first 3 times you skydive, you have to do a tandem where you're attached to someone. So that makes it because you're like, this guy doesn't want to die either, but you're still gonna have all these irrational, scary thoughts like, oh, what if?
Right, like, well, what if this don't
Yeah,
deploy, or and like, what do they tell you? Well, just kiss your ass goodbye. Like, is
dude,
there any kind of prep? Like, what if this don't deploy?
bro, check this out. So let me tell this story because it's so funny, man. And I love telling this story. So we go, and it's like me and probably like 4 homies. Yeah, like 4 other homies. So they team you up with someone, and they team you up with this dude, and he's just all real quiet and kind of. He wasn't weird. He was just like, yeah, dude. Like he was just chill. And but I'm looking over and I'm watching my friends, and they're doing like these little rolling drills and like all this stuff. Like there's a fake airplane they're jumping out of, and I see him drilling, and so I go up to my dude. He's like eating a sandwich, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, are we gonna do a drill or what's up?" And he's like, "Nah, dude, it's easy, bro." He's like, "This is all you got to do. We go up there, we jump, I tap you, you turn into a banana, then we party." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like what?"
Yeah.
That's all he told me. And so when we go up there, I'm like, I told my homie, I'm like, yo, what the fuck does it mean to turn into a banana, bro? And he's like, what? I was like, your guy didn't tell you to turn into a banana? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh god, dude, I don't want to kill
Ah,
myself. Yeah.
what the hell? That's beautiful. He's pretty much. I'm saying, either you make it or you don't. Enjoy the
Yeah, yeah.
ride, bro.
Yeah.
You can only just die at what 40,000 feet in the air, bro.
Yeah.
It's cool. The fuck,
I'm just like looking
bro.
around like, oh man, can I get another partner? How do I switch this dude out?
I need somebody other than sandwich guy. The fuck.
Oh,
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I'm glad you lived, homie. I'm glad you made it.
yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
Nah.
Me too.
All right. Man, after jumping out of the plane, the next question's boring. The bicycle I had most as a kid was blank.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, this is a fresh question. That is a fresh one because bikes are so important when you're a kid, man. The dopest bike I got was I got like one of my friends had it, but he got a better bike. So he gave me I had a mongoose, and it was before the mongoose was sold at Walmart or whatever. So they were like fresh, it was like a chrome mongoose.
Right.
And that was dope.
Hell yeah. Top of the line before it was just the normal poor kid like me bike.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always inspired to have a Haro or,
Oh
a
yeah, me too.
dyno.
Me too. The Hara was the king, dude. Yeah, I never got one.
Man. Uh, heck yeah. Mine obviously was next in Mongoose, as you just said, and I tried to have the mags and the fat boy pegs at least. I thought I was cool.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was cool. Yeah, fuck yeah. That was tight.
uh, So you've obviously experienced both. The best part about the beach, freshwater or salt for that matter, is blank.
Oh man, that is a good question. It's probably to me. Oh man, my favorite thing about anything is the mystery, and the beach is full of mystery, man. Because under that water, like you have no idea what's under there. So the intrigue of the mystery is definitely my favorite, but also the smell. I love the
Yeah.
smell, dude. Yeah.
That's what the intrigue mystery is also what keeps me distant. Even if I went to California or any coastal state, like I ain't messing around with sharks. And I hate when I hear people say shark infested. No, that's their home.
Yeah,
Okay, it's
that's true.
people infested.
Yeah,
So I'm
that's
not
fact.
even mad at them, but I still don't
Yeah.
want to freaking get bit by one.
Yeah, Josh, no shit.
So
That's like one of my biggest fears. But yeah, that's a good point, man. Like humans don't have fins. sharks clearly are made for here. We're invading their homes, dude. Like,
Right. People are talking about all these waters are infested. That's their home.
yeah, that's
That's what
it.
they're meant to live in, bro. Like,
Yeah.
no, we're stupid and out there trying to swim in it and do stuff. It comes with the
Yeah.
territory, I guess. And I'm not trying to be that territory, so I might like wakeboard, maybe, maybe not. I might hang out with like the lemon and nerf sharks in like the shallow water, not
Yeah.
no great white territory or whatever the hell.
No, no,
But
yeah.
no, if you were in the stream, you heard it. My favorite part is, of course, the naked women. I mean, I'm just kidding. Being there's nothing bigger than Mother Nature. You can't win. You can't beat her. Just being humbled by nature is what I like. When you have your feet right there in the water, still kind of on the shore, and a good breeze comes by, kind of like you said, the smell that kind of takes part of the whole euphoria. And but for me,
Yeah.
that can even be like out in the woods, hiking and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
sit down on my butt and level with myself. And so I'm just a
Yeah.
real nature nerd, I guess.
That's dope. Yeah.
um
That's
my old
that's
lady
a
likes to ask
dope.
this question, and she actually asked it in this chat in Carmen's. I just asked it without her being in there. If you could be an animal, what animal would it be?
Wolf.
You'd
Definitely a
be a
wolf.
wolf?
Wolf.
Ooh, that's too easy for her. That's her bread and butter. Well, I don't know how easy. I can't speak for her, but that's her bread and butter, like doing
Is the wolf?
canine creatures and
Oh yeah.
stuff like that. She's got some pretty like good skill at making teeth and like snarling. Like
Fuck
she
yeah.
made my icon. I don't know if you can even well no, because if I hit camera off, it'll show my casual aquatics for some reason. But she made my icon for Dreadlockjuggalo, my actual YouTube channel, that like wolf juggalo face paint looking thing or whatever. So
Dude, dope. Yeah, I want to check out
yeah.
her art. Man, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's sick.
I don't know what to tell him. I mean, I can send you her Facebook. I guess you do have an art page, but you don't post a whole lot on it, do you? At any rate, I'll get you some of her stuff if you really want to check it out. She does have a YouTube channel. She don't post a whole lot. And she's on TikTok. She does post quite a bit on there. And then Facebook, she's got a little page and her profile that she posts on. But yeah, that's cool that you want to check her out as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If
I like that.
if anybody in the chat has any last minute questions, this is your opportunity to ask those very questions. I want to take the moment to say thank you yet again for taking 2 hours out of your night to come hang out with us and slum it with little old Wiggles. You have been everything but uninteresting. Like you are a book
Thanks.
of all kinds of talents and some things to inspire from. And I really appreciate your time. Like I wasn't bored at all, and I appreciated your company. It felt organic. It didn't feel forced or nothing like that. So I really do appreciate.
Hey, yeah, dude, thank you. Hey, thank you for having me on here, man. This was so much fun, dude. I had a fucking blast with you, dude. I feel like we're homies now, man. Like, this is a good,
Yeah,
yeah, fuck yeah. Okay,
I
we
can
gotta talk.
come kicking in Hollywood with the big famous people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come on,
I'm
man. Let's
just
go.
I'm kidding.
Let's go. Hey, welcome
That's
anytime
dope
with
though,
me,
for real.
homie. Yeah,
Well, come to the gathering this year. Let's manifest that and kick it with Wiggles at the gathering, and then I'll
let's do
come
it.
see you in Cali.
Okay, I'm down. I'm definitely down, man. That's the plan of
Her
life.
dad, real talk, her dad lives in Oregon and has been trying to get us to come like visit or whatever, but it just like with work and scheduling off. My work, I only get a week of vacation time. She gets a few weeks or whatever,
Nice.
but we have dogs and like we have to pay the room and board, and if
Yeah,
we're both leaving the house and da 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 da. So it's
yeah.
been challenging, but maybe one of these years that I don't go to the gathering, we might actually go see him. And then Oregon, California, it's right in there.
Hey, it's
Maybe we can make
close.
it happen. Yeah,
Dude,
that's
yeah, let me
awesome.
know, man. You have a friend in Long Beach, bro. Let me know if you ever make your way out here, bro.
Absolutely.
I'd love to kick it with you out here. Look, yeah.
If you want to have any last minute like shout outs or whatever that you'd like to say, this would definitely be your opportunity to say that. Yet again, everybody, if you make it to this point in the video, which I hope you guys do, we have people still hanging out in the chat. I've said it a few times. I'll say it one more time. We're going to get his links and they will be in the description. Go follow this man. Go support this man. He is very talented. He's very humble. He didn't have to come hang out with me. He's obviously, pretty well known and connected. So I'm humbled to have him on my stream. And yeah,
Thank you, man. Thank you. That was really dope. Thank you. I would just like if I any closing comments, I just want to say thank you, man. I just had a blast, like I already said. If you're, check me out, man. I have some fun stuff, and dude, the things that I'm bringing, like I'm very excited about. I'm a horror fanatic. I got some horror. My music videos are all horror themed. If you like horror, come fuck with me. And I'm trying to make things that are new, original, and will excite you. I'm not trying to do something that will give me $1. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do something that you will remember as a viewer, as somebody who appreciates art and music. That's like really what I want to do. So, Nuisance.one, come fuck with me. That's
absolutely. Absolutely. And I like to end my streams by telling you guys, tell somebody you love them. Life is too short, and you don't know who needs to hear that. And it might be you that saves them, changes their course or path and their mindset, or gets them through at least that day or that moment. Life's rough enough for us to be hating on each other, build somebody up. I'm Wiggles. I love you guys. And until next time, we out of here. Whoop, whoop.